Okay, we can kick things off now. Welcome everybody. It's so great to have you all here today to talk about some last minute peak season prep. This webinar topic was sparked because peak season is knocking on our doors, and peak season can so often become an excuse to not make some of the small changes that can really make a big impact for peak season, but also for the following year. So something that we really wanted you to get out of this webinar is 6 actually actionable tips that you can put in place before peak season. So get out your virtual and physical notebooks because you're going to want to get started on these things as soon as possible. We have tips to cover all across the customer journey. So we'll kick things off with Julian from Shopify, then I'll come in with fulfillment tips from Starshipit, and then Billy from Yotpo taking us home into the Q&A with the one and only Kim Zorn. We are so excited to have Kim here today. Some of you might recognize Kim, and I'm sure that all of you recognize Princess Polly. This is not Kim's first rodeo. You might have seen her speak somewhere else in the e-commerce world. She comes with really great knowledge, peak season or otherwise. This session itself, though, isn't just for Princess Polly size retailers. There is so much knowledge in this virtual room. So if you have any questions, keep pushing them through the Q&A. We've saved heaps of time at the end to go through all of your questions. So I'll let our panelists introduce themselves and we'll kick things off with Billy.
It's probably unhide my camera. Hello everyone, I'm Billy. I'm one of the account executives at Yotpo. My background over the past 7 or 8 years within the e-com space has been through website personalization, analytics of the customer journey, and more recently marketing automation. So helping brands in Australia and New Zealand kind of build and launch and strategize on their SMS channel as a way to nurture their customers and ultimately improve customer lifetime value.
Awesome, thanks Billy. My name is Sofia. You have already heard me speak enough, but I am the Business Development Manager at Starshipit, providing automated fulfillment solutions to customers of all shapes and sizes. Starshipit is Australia and New Zealand's largest shipping platform, which, to keep it simple, means that we help retailers manage their orders by integrating their e-commerce platform or inventory management platform to all of their careers, working with retailers like Princess Polly to deliver great shipping experiences, which probably leads me quite nicely to Kim to introduce herself.
Hey everyone, I'm Kim. I'm Global Performance Director at Princess Polly. Look after everything paid and organic performance, paid social, SEM, loyalty, and a couple other channels. Really excited to chat all things last minute peak season prep. And yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. And Julian, I'll let you take away your intro and jump into your slides as well.
G'day everybody. My name's Julian. I'm a community manager for Shopify. I'm also a field marketer for Shopify as well. I'm also a small business owner, and I have been for years. I've been using Shopify for my own business since 2012. And I just love the entrepreneurial journey. The fact that I've created something other people want to buy still just blows my mind every time I receive an order or an inquiry from a customer. My role at Shopify is about helping small business owners get the most that they can out of Shopify. A typical day for me is meeting one-on-one with fellow business owners, often consulting on strategic growth issues, facilitating and hosting educational webinars and workshops. I've known to have a style of facilitation that's positively blunt. And I often share real-world, tangible, proven techniques, systems, and roadmaps that business owners can take away and utilize on their own businesses. If anything that I tell you today, you want to dive deeper, or you want like another slide deck or more learning, all you need to do is email me afterwards, and I'm an open book. So yeah, with that, shall we get into it? So I've got the pleasure of, I guess, running 2 tips today. The first tip is regarding merchandising your store to maximize order value, and the implementation effort is pretty low. And I do actually have a takeaway. If anyone wants it, feel free to reach out to me. It's my email address is julian.bartram@shopify.com, but I'm just going to talk to you about it firstly. The aim of the game for e-com, but specifically for Q4, is increasing our conversion rate and increasing our average order value. Those are the two main focuses that as a business owner I really want to get to. So the how do we do this? Well, a real easy thing to do is to consider the product that you sell, whip it into some sort of easy to buy bundle that increases the average order value for you, but it also increases the ease of purchase for the buyer, and then put that bundle or put that group of product at easy to buy places, like the top left hand corner of any collection in my mind should be a bundle, and then right next to it should be your top selling product. So that's just a real easy tip. I wanted to also just kind of give you a landing page formula. It's only kind of 10 points, but it's just something that I feel like you should have for your landing page and mainly for your landing page, but also for your product page. When someone comes to your website, the way I look at it is, are they new to my? Hopefully they're new to my brand, and that's how I design my website. I'm always designing it from a mobile view. I'm building for mobile and optimizing for desktop. And the first thing when someone comes to my site, they should see a powerful impact statement or a powerful offer. And so what I mean by that is something that really basically states, why the hell should I buy from you, or why should I even keep scrolling down this website? Usually there should be a deeper explanation of your product, or maybe even and your target audience utilizing your product or your service. There should be a call to action after every major section. And then after that, once you scroll down, the call to action should be thumb height. So just easy for the thumb to click to go to the collection or to the product page. And then there should be some social proof. That's a lead, testimonial, or review. I always say to people that I do strategy with, if in doubt, just add stars. Because I don't know about you, but every time I make a buying decision, it's all around social proof. It's all around reviews. So I've got more to share with you if you want, but for me, let's just simplify it. Merchandise your store to maximize order value. Create a bundle. Add it to the top left corner of your collection. Have a powerful impact statement at the start, a call to action, and some social proof. So that's tip one, and it's pretty easy. You should be able to implement that. Tip two is consider using Shopify collabs. Now, the reason I'm saying that is not I feel like I'm taking off my Shopify hat now and just speaking to you as a merchant. When Shopify created or bought Dovetail, which is now collabs, I started implementing this in my business. And what I used it for was to actually find influencers. Shopify collabs has a bunch of influencers or a bunch of creators that are ready and willing to create user-generated content for you and your product. You can give those influencers or those creators commissions, and they can sell it on their networks. Or the way I use it, I actually use it to get UGC or user-generated content from existing customers, and I get to give them gifts of my product, and I get to give them affiliate links and codes for discounts and so on. It's just phenomenal. I launched it about a month ago, and now we have about 131 people that applied, and we've accepted about 45 that are giving us fantastic content for us to serve in our advertising. It's free if you're in Shopify, and all you need to do is go to the App Store to download it and learn and get amongst it. It's actually a pretty easy. I put the implementation effort here in medium, but in reality, it's downloading an app and kind of coming up with a strategy. But again, if you need more help with that, feel free to reach me out. But that's it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Julian. It's so great to hear, obviously not only the great tips, but also, you having brands yourself, hearing your real life experience and tips from there. It's really, really useful. So now onto my 2 slides. So I know what you're probably thinking, and that is that there is no such thing as a quick tip when it comes to shipping. And admittedly, there do seem to be things that go wrong with shipping, especially when volumes do arise. But I have a couple of quick tips that will help you to mitigate a lot of the problems that arise during this period, particularly around customer expectations. So there is one main thing that customers are looking for during this delivery period, and that is communication. And this communication can start long before they're sending you hundreds of emails asking where their parcel is. And that's because the shipping experience really should start long before the checkout. I mean, if you look at Princess Polly, as soon as you go onto the website, you start getting some really clear communication around shipping, what I need to do to get it, and what it will be. If I spend 115 New Zealand dollars, I'm going to get free DHL Express shipping. You need to be really clear about what the costs are and what they can get. And this is going to help you to avoid 45% of customers dropping off through not being shown this early enough. And this really helps by the time they get to the checkout, because there should be no new information by the time they're at that stage. Everything at the checkout should be useful. There should be no surprises. And if you're minimizing the decision-making element at checkout by introducing that information all the way through their experience on the website, you're going to find a massive decrease in cart abandonment. In a recent survey, actually, from Australia Post, the top 3 considerations for online shopping are convenience, cost, and product availability. And 2 of 3 of those considerations will be taking place at checkout. So you can really start to mitigate some of those expectations that people have around convenience and cost by offering a few different options by the time they get there. I like to say that a good place to start is by offering a core 3. So one of them should be ideally free. And if you can't quite hack free, then make it cheap. This can be any standard service for shipping. One should be fast. So this is a really good express or a really good standard, which gets it to them really quickly. And the third one should meet the customer where they want it. And this is where you can get really personal to your own customer base, what they're asking for, what they're going to respond really well to. That could be a same day option. It could be click and collect. It could be a drop box. But for each of these 3 different options, including costs and including transit times, as realistic and specific as you can get, the 5 to 24 working days transit time is just not going to hack it anymore. I mean, like you look at Amazon, they can give you like hourly predictions on when it's going to be delivered. And while you don't have to quite be hourly, just keeping it super realistic and super specific is going to start managing for the customer what those expectations are, because at the checkout, that's really where you are starting to define your own shipping experience. And that means that they won't start comparing you to the likes of Amazon, who can get it to them hourly. They know exactly what to expect from you when they're shipping. And that's not only going to have a massive increase on their satisfaction, but also for your teams on the customer service inquiries. They know exactly when they can expect certain information. You can also be working through this through another post-purchase tool and engaging your customer base with post-purchase notifications. This stat here is a huge number. If you really think about that number, that is nearly every single customer that you communicate with that wants to be informed and receive proactive updates about their order. Huge. So this isn't only huge from an expectation perspective, but also if you're keeping them up to date about where the order is along the way, not only is that going to have a huge impact, obviously, on your internal team, but it's keeping your customer really excited about receiving the order. And we know that the customer journey, this part of the customer journey is where buyers are the most engaged. The post-purchase delivery emails, I know for myself, they're my most opened emails, and the stats flow for retailers as well, that these are the most open and the most read emails. So this is really great real estate for you, especially right now. People are massively diversifying their buying habits. There are so many different parcels coming their way, and acquisition costs are just so high. So you can start using this period to put yourself apart by first highlighting what is going to be a really great shipping experience and delivering exactly on what you've promised. But secondly, is using this period as an opportunity to start to communicate and market to your customers in unique ways. You can be pointing out a sales section, you can be putting a promo code, information about a loyalty program. And this step here, it sounds so simple, but it really is a step that so many retailers are missing, just sending out like one email with a tracking link or purely relying on the couriers to send out these communications. And that's not going to be your best option, especially when you're going to have so many great post-purchase tools at your fingertips, often with whatever fulfillment software you might be using. So being able to stay in control of your communication and stay on top of how, where, and when you're talking to them is going to have a massive impact on your loyalty, on their loyalty to you, sort of beyond peak season even. Probably segues quite nicely into Billy now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I always want to make sure I'll be getting those kind of texts, the shipping ones via SMS. And that's kind of where, for my recommendations, when we think about last minute and things that are going to be low effort to get implemented, we always think about SMS. People are looking at their phones 150 times a day, spending more than 4 hours a day on mobile. And during Black Friday and peak season, we just know that people are going to be drowning in emails with lots of brands offering things. Some of those emails might just be going to spam. You've got emails going straight to promotions folders. So it's really important that we can use a channel that can cut through all of that noise. And with SMS, it's got a 98% open rate, and about 90% of your text that you send will be open within 3 minutes. So it's just a really easy way to get a clear, concise message across, and hopefully, drive some additional sales as a result. So first tip from me is just maximize the number of mobile numbers that you're able to collect in this time. You don't need a really well built out SMS strategy to start off with. There's no time like the present to collect and own more first party data. So the easiest way to get going, if you don't have access to pop-ups, install Yotpo SMS bump. Very easy to flick on a pop-up to collect subscribers. We would also recommend building a landing page, so a dedicated URL on your website, where we can do an email blast to say, hey, we're now on SMS, sign up to be the first to know about our Black Friday sales, exclusive offers, don't miss out. And then you can turn those email subscribers into SMS subscribers. And then probably the easiest one is a opt-in box at checkout. So whether you're on Shopify, whoever, have a specific opt-in box at the checkout section, capitalize on the momentum of people filling in their customer information so they can quickly tick that and opt into your SMS program. That's definitely number one. Obviously, without people to text, then you're going to struggle. My second tip is, once we've got those people opted into SMS, what are the simple ways we can just capture as much abandoning revenue as possible? We always, when we launch with clients, we suggest turning on a SMS flow, so a new subscriber flow, to warm the customers up, to get used to receiving messages from you, and a cart abandonment SMS flow. So again, with Yotpo, one thing I really like about it is the fact that these are all pre-built. So for small teams or just really busy teams, you install the app, you can collect some subscribers and have these flows that are set and forget that can run in the background. And for SMS flows like cart abandonment, we see about 33% of carts that can actually be abandoned, that can be recovered rather. Now, on top of that, I would say have a think about what your actual Black Friday, Cyber Monday, campaign might be. Do we want to do a 3-step campaign in the run up? So, maybe one day, pick a segment of your audience and tell them the sales are about to go live, or your promotions are about to go live in a few days. Then a text on the day, letting them know that offers are now available and don't miss out. And then a last chance message is kind of usually the best practice we offer. With us, again, you can kind of follow up if people are interested, but it's important that you have a strategist to work with on this, especially if it's a new channel for people. But the app itself is built to make it really easy to get this type of thing up and running. So you can have flows, collecting subscribers all set up within, a day, in a couple of hours. So those would be my two: collect subscribers, but then think about how we're going to engage with them to ultimately capture potentially lost revenue. This is a bonus tip. So this deck's going out afterwards, go for it. But it's around copy. This is a question I get asked a lot, which is, how do we actually text? Do we use it the same as email? Is it different? Overall, I would say text people like you know them, text them like your friends. You're in their inbox and you have to earn the right to stay there. So have a friendly kind of message, but kind of 4 key things we look at is leading with exclusivity. So something specific for the SMS club, why they should be in SMS as opposed to receiving the same thing they're going to get on email. Have a sense of urgency. If it's limited time only, time sensitive, stock runs out fast, and then incentivize it if you can through discounts, free shipping, and clearly outline them. And then just a really strong call to action to actually get them to click through and hit your website.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Billy. And thanks for the encore with the bonus tip. So now on to our Q&A session. There are some really great questions coming through, so keep them coming. We're actually going to kick things off by asking Kim some of our most frequently asked questions, but keep putting in yours because we had plenty of time to cover them off as well. So maybe Billy, you can get started with one of your frequently asked questions.
Yeah, I mean, it might sound like a loaded question, but just genuinely curious. I know that your customers, Kim, are going to be on the receiving end of lots of different offers from other people where they're signed up to hear from brands. Lots of choice, lots of distraction, but how are you going to be cutting through the noise and how are you going to be standing out?
Yeah, I think one way for us, and that's what we really highlight this year, is creative to cut through the noise. I implemented a 2-second rule with the whole creative team, which means if you look at that creative for 2 seconds and you look away and you don't know what that message said, we need to rework on that strategy. So creative for us is key. Use engaging music and also, make these ads native to the platform. And then we really looking into using SMS as our key channel this year for Black Friday to have that direct communication with our customer. I feel like the email promotion box is like the new page 2 of Google search results. Like it's really hard to cut through the noise with EDM at the moment. So SMS for us is a great tool to reach our customers directly. And yeah, we received great feedback from them and they do want to hear from us by SMS. And we do have some other exciting initiatives for Black Friday that I can't share yet, but we have some other tricks up our sleeves this Black Friday.
Nice. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, stay tuned. I do have a question as well, one that we definitely get asked a lot around delivery delays, because we know that they are completely unavoidable and down to the courier networks, especially in peak. But when and how would you sort of recommend communicating to customers about these delivery delays, if you have any?
Yeah, for us, we recently ran a customer survey, and shipping speed for our customers is one of the most important factors to purchase. So we're all about transparency. I think if you experience any delays, don't beat around the bush, like tell people how it is and tell them that you experience a delay. We do have our delivery cutoff times that we set around in the next couple of weeks, and we communicate that clearly. So we say we have our KCP banners, it's like on the checkout page, it's on our EDMs as banners on socials, and we communicate clearly, hey, if you want to receive your parcel by Christmas, this is when you need to purchase by. And I think that's really, really important to be transparent and honest with customers.
Yeah, absolutely. Julian, do you have one lined up?
Yeah. I like it's kind of like a double question, really. Like, what are the metrics you're focusing on? But in reality, I just really want to know, like, do you use Shopify Analytics? Are you like looking at the analytics? And if so, is there a favorite report?
At the moment, the report that I probably use the most is like we're testing different payment solutions. So I look at like the checkout share for different payment solutions and focus on like some marketing activities around there as well. But yeah, we're obviously like a Shopify fan. The integration with all our channels is really simple, and we get some great data back into our dashboards for some channels as well from Shopify.
Just on top of that, just sorry to ask, but do you utilize like ABC analysis for your inventory? Or do you use another inventory solution for that, telling you what your winners are and what's?
Yeah, we use like another app that's connected to Shopify and a Shopify partner. But yeah, that all sits within the buying and merch team for us.
Cool. We've had a question come through now, which probably lines up quite nicely because I think it might be one that's sort of relevant for Billy and Kim maybe. But talking about phone numbers and SMS opt-ins, what is the best way to capture some of those abandoned cart phone numbers?
Kim, do you want to see based on your experience, and I can say kind of what feedback I've had?
Yeah, I think for us, the opt-in strategies, like we do have a lot of different strategies to opt in phone numbers. And obviously with phone number collection, you also need to be really careful about consent. But we do have, Yotpo is providing always like great guidelines for us to get consent for these phone numbers. But yeah, we're at the moment focusing really on the checkout option, the tick box that Billy mentioned, and we turned that option on a couple months ago, and our opt-ins were skyrocketing. So yeah, that's our experience with that.
Yeah, like we've got about 9 different options at Yotpo to tap into. The ones I mentioned in the tips, pop-up landing page, so having a dedicated page where people can sign up to SMS, and that checkout opt-in are typically the highest performing. Results may change, over the course of a few months, and you can test. One thing we always say to look at is your unsubscribe rate as well. That's a metric that is kind of the true indicator of someone getting value from your SMS program. So while it's great collecting them, we also want to make sure that, we're delivering on the promise of sending personalized text, and that's usually where the unsubscribe rate comes into play.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye out on. Another question here, which I think follows up from your previous answer, Kim, but which payment options should be integrated? And maybe you can follow this one up, Jules. What's the most used one? Is it Shopify Payments, Afterpay, PayPal? What are you seeing?
Yeah, so for us, we do have a wide range of like payment options. We obviously also use Shopify Payments. But without being able to share like what is working best for us, I do think, buy now, pay later options are really, really important, especially for our customer like Gen Z and millennials. We do see these buy now, pay later solutions get quite a lot of traction.
Yeah, my answer is very, very similar, but I'll tell you what's working at Body FX. So I wish we could use Shopify Payments, but we sell contact lenses, which are pseudopharmaceuticals. So it's which is annoying. So I can't actually use Shopify Payments, but if I could, I know that it would be one of our top gateways, predominantly because it's just too easy to use. But for us, 27% of our revenue comes through Afterpay and then PayPal. But like the answer here for me is just give your customers as many options to choose to pay you. I've done the GP for my products, so I'm baking in that percentage rate. Like it's that I'm paying some percentage for Visa or for whatever, but it's in my costs. So I like to give my customers as many options to pay me as possible.
Yeah, it's all about choice and what the customers are after.
One thing I saw on your website recently, Kim, is the introduction of refunded instant refunds. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, customers love it. We launched that recently, soft launched it, and yeah, people are loving that. We had great feedback so far.
Amazing. I've seen them pop up a fair bit.
Yeah, good timing to put it in as well. On the topic of peak season, having something like that in place before you jump into it can be really good. But I mean, probably leads on to another question. I'm sure you've made some amazing decisions and maybe also some mistakes. So what have been some of the mistakes that you've made in the lead up to other peak seasons?
I think yeah, we made a few mistakes, but if I could pinpoint our biggest mistake that we did last year in the lead up, for example, to Black Friday, Cyber Monday, is we started testing what works for us and what doesn't work for us quite late. And we launched majority of our ads one day before Black Friday, and we had them all stuck in learning phase, and the CPMs were not great. So yeah, I would highly recommend, and like launching early and making, you know, the least amount of change you can to like ads and let them optimize and bring the CPMs down, because yeah, it will be tough. And we also focus a lot more on retargeting instead of like acquisition for us is in a couple of weeks before Black Friday starts, and like October and September. But to have an acquisition strategy for Black Friday, Cyber Monday will be really expensive.
Yeah, expensive mistakes as well.
Yeah.
Another question that's come through related to ads actually is, which paid social media channels would you recommend to leverage, particularly for Q4? A lot of retailers are seeing an increase in the use of TikTok versus Instagram versus Facebook. So what are your thoughts on the best paid social channels?
Good question. I think it depends what your audience is and where your audience is engaging with you most. Like we do see Instagram and TikTok being great for us. TikTok is definitely on the rise. So if you haven't figured out TikTok yet, you definitely have to, not just for paid channels, but also for organic. I think as a brand, it's really tough to grow on Instagram. On TikTok, you can go viral overnight and gain a lot of thousands of followers overnight. So my top channel recommendations for Black Friday will be Instagram and definitely TikTok.
Awesome. Billy or Julian, did you have another question that you wanted to throw in there as well?
Yeah, I know we're talking a lot about acquisition, but like, I know obviously retention is key focus for pretty much every business, given how expensive it is to acquire new customers. And I also know, Kim, you've got obviously a really cool rewards program that's got some, I think, really nice kind of experiences that you can offer up to customers. Are you going to be engaging with and interacting with your loyalty members any differently to kind of non-loyalty members?
Yeah, like our loyalty members will receive early access to some of our sales, which is really exciting. We do have a pretty big now rewards program with amazing perks. And our rewards program is actually integrated with SMS. So we can reach out to our VIP and Backstage Pass members. That's what the highest 2 levels are, directly via SMS and push our message across there as well. And yeah, we have great feedback for our rewards program. It's definitely important to give back to customers as a brand as well.
Based on the feedback you've had, what's the like one reward that they go like most crazy for?
I like, before we asked people, I thought it would be like our feature on the Instagram page, which is like a highly requested feature that everyone requested. But I think with the current economy, it has shifted. So the biggest perk that everyone is looking for is savings and discounts. You can really feel that in the last couple of months. Money is tighter than ever for a lot of our customers. So they're really looking forward to be rewarded for their loyalty as well.
I get a follow-up question from that, like thinking post Black Friday, because I know lots of brands during this time will be going quite discount heavy, like it's part of their strategy, but it's not something they can maintain long term. Is there any advice you'd give for brands, you know, going into January, where customers are still looking for savings or discounts given the economic climate, but they might not have the ability to do so? Any advice around how they can keep their customers interested and engaged that time of year?
I think segmenting is like a really important strategy, especially for discounting. Like if you can't provide a big discount, then you can, for example, reward your most loyal customers with a discount. And you know that these people are like probably having a high average order value. But yeah, we're also, you know, giving away, like doing little giveaways and other incentives to shop as well. And yeah, like we're also going into December. For us, it's like New Year's Eve outfits prep. So we're going heavily into that as well.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I can imagine it would really depend on the kind of things you're selling as well, right? Depending on when those sort of ads will be relevant and when you should push certain information out. We have a question come through around what are your thoughts, Kim, on pre-purchase and post-purchase upsell pop-ups to increase AOV?
Yeah, we have like a couple of pop-ups, but we also leverage and started leveraging SMS as post-purchase flow, and that we see really incredible results from there. I think it depends how you set it up. If you what your repeat purchase rate is and what your goal is. We basically build our entire post-purchase and retention strategy based on survey results and average purchase rate in our goal as well. If you have a brand that, you know, customers, you know, need a product from you every 6 months, and then you have a post-purchase pop-up, say like you have 7 days to purchase, it probably won't work. So you should really like look at the strategy and see what works best for you.
Awesome. Julian, do you have another question you wanted to pop in there?
Yeah, it's more of a personal one. Sorry. I'm into obviously I'm looking at Princess Polly, but I just want to do you use like a heat mapping software? Are you looking at that granular sort of stuff, or?
Yeah, we're definitely looking at like some more granular things. We use another tool where we can see what's our most clicked category on the nav, and we recently went through a nav restructure based on that. But yeah, we definitely keep track on like what are people wanting to see from us, and not just that. We also look at like categories clicked on EDMs to see what's trending. We look at like search term reports and make sure that our merch is always up to date with whatever is trending as well.
Are you looking at also like search term reports like with no result too?
So
the no result search term?
Yes. Yeah. That's like that's a big opportunity, obviously. If you search and you have no results coming up, we always make sure that this is you know, all tags are in place for products to pop up.
Yeah, I'm looking at your mega menus, and I'm like, you know, like they're beautiful. They're so curated. I'm just like how often do you guys change them up? But you know, yeah, is it
the collections, you mean?
Well, yeah, like, you know, our faves, just all the imagery. Is that constantly evolving?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, we have that. Our site merchandising department is keeping up with that and is updating that regularly.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Love that. I've passed that feedback on to our site merch team.
Awesome. Cool. If there's no more questions coming through, we can probably call that a wrap. We will be sharing this recording afterwards. So if you've missed anything, you can go back to it. And if you have any remaining questions for anyone here, please feel free to reach out, and I'm sure that the teams would love to help.
I just saw one question come through.
Oh, you saw one come through? Oh, yeah.
It was like, it was asked what pop-up app we use, and we use SMS, like Yotpo's SMS product pop-up to collect emails and SMS. Really easy to navigate, super easy to set up, and yeah, that's what we use.
Great. Billy, anything you want to add on to that one?
I would use Yotpo if I was a brand. No, joking. We can do it for you for the most part as well. We can help set things up if that's been an issue, but we can chat after this.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks for your time, everybody.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.